Number Act 2, y'all won. Chance the Rapper is divorced. I didn't even know he was married, like, honestly. But I wonder what they mean by we won. Like, people wanted him to divorce her? Is she a terrible person? Or, like, what happened? Like, that's fucked up when people want to prey on people's downfall. But we'll see what they're talking about, because I had no idea. So,
What's poppin', y'all? Listen, any of you Chance the Rapper fan, I know you Chance the Rapper fans are smirking right now. I'm gonna need you to wipe that smirk off your face, please. Not saying that disrespectfully, because I know you're excited. You're like, damn, we might get acid rap Chance back. We might get old Chance back. We might get loving his wife Chance back. Well, the news, if you didn't already know, is that Chance the Rapper is getting a divorce. He's separating from his wife. That the big day was a recurring theme around. And the following was the announcement. After a period of separation, the two of us have arrived at the decision to part ways. We came to this decision amicably and with gratitude for the time we spent together. God has blessed us with two beautiful daughters who we will continue to raise together. We kindly ask for privacy and respect as we navigate this transition. Thank you, Chance and Kirsten. This is the best thing that could have ever happened to Chance the Rapper's career. Now, you guys know my conspiracy theory that I've had forever, which is Chance the Rapper was potentially forced into this marriage because they had a child together and they were together. But if you guys recall, several years ago, she was trying to put this deadbeat label on Chance the Rapper. There was an article, it was in 2017 when there was this child support case that she was putting on him, and that he was supporting his daughter financially, but I think his daughter was like less than 2 years old at the time. This is 2017. So they reached an agreement, but they weren't even together. Keep in mind, 2017, he did not want anything to do with being in a relationship with his then wife, or with his later to be wife. He gets that solved really quick. By like March, I think. He came to a deal, and I think she was saying something along the lines of, oh, he's donating money to help kids in Chicago, but he's not looking after his own daughter. That was the big problem. And then I said that I think he did this really quick because she was destroying his name. Chance the Rapper had still does, have a very clean image. He's giving back in Chicago. He's doing a bunch of initiatives. He's doing that festival out in Ghana. He's kind of a political figure. He has close political ties to the Obamas. He's kept a clean image. And I do think eventually he will go for some sort of government position or try to assist as much as possible in somebody's campaign. If it's not himself, he'll assist somebody else and be kind of like their main guy that's promoting them. And to do that, you got to make sure your name is clean. So when your ex at the time is going out saying, hey, you see this guy that's pretending to like love God and be all about giving, he's not even giving his own daughter, which we know is not true. But that starts to go crazy. And think about it. If you're Chance the Rapper in this scenario, and that's what you see going around, and this is what somebody did to you, this is what your baby mama did to you, would you be like so excited to marry her, or would you hold some resentment in your heart for that? I don't know. These are just theories. Keep in mind, this is still 2017. Fast forward, they eventually get married. So you're like, huh, that's interesting. And then 2 years later, July 2019, The Big Day comes out. And, that was largely about her, and he got a lot of hate because it was in part about her. Like I said, I never thought this album was bad. I mean, Hot Shower, I hated that song. From the beginning, I still hate that song. But I didn't think this album was bad. I thought it was okay. And I was really, really in the minority with that take. But that's why I feel like I have more of a balanced perspective when it comes to this whole thing. So they continued to be married for years, and I thought this was more like a political marriage. Like, hey, we're together because it looks better for everybody. She's married. I'm not having to deal with baby mama issues, saying I'm not taking care of my kid or throwing slander on my name. And I get to continue. Chance the Rapper has been cooking up a new album since, hell, maybe last year. Last year, if I recall correctly, he's been building up to dropping an album. And he's been on the cooler a little bit. He's dropped fire singles, by the way. If you haven't paid attention to the singles that Chance the Rapper has been dropping for the past years, go pay attention. He's actually rapping on there. But he still hasn't rid himself of the stench that people have of The Big Day. And in order to do that, he needs to come back with a project. Or he needs to have some crazy verse on a big project like Ye or something like that. Which I don't even think they're on the same wavelength with how Ye's making music right now. And Ye's more so making music with Ty Dolla. Like Ty Dolla, Rich the Kid, who else? Playboi Carti. Does Chance the Rapper fit in there? I think he could fit himself in there, but I don't know if Ye's team is thinking of Chance the Rapper when those are the artists that they're currently working with. But this creates a great timeline. Everybody loves a breakup album in general, or just like breakup energy. And for somebody like Chance, whose quote unquote demise, and how do I put it to pack the biggest punch, or like the best wording for it? Because I wouldn't call it an actual demise, but I would say a reframing of the reputation that he held was because of a relationship. So for him to come out of the relationship that they believe ruined him puts him in a position where all eyes are going to be on him. And they're looking at it like, man, we can't wait to hear what he's going to drop now. It's got to be fire. If the marketing around the album and more news spreads like, hey, this guy's single now, I think that alone will get people to have a higher expectation of the album than they would have had if Chance had just dropped an album and still been married. Because they'd be like, oh, yeah, this guy's going to talk about his wife again. But now that he's not with her, they know he's not going to talk about his wife in the manner that he did in The Big Day. And if he does, that would be crazy. Yeah, that would throw me for a spin. With all that being said, though, Chance the Rapper has been recording for well over a year, and they've been together the year and a half or so that he's been recording. So will those songs make it onto the album? Will he scrap it in favor for something new? I don't know. This is a unique opportunity that presents itself. And we also got to take into consideration the stress and turmoil that he's going through now as well. Because he had to go through all this behind the scenes. I mean, you got to think, man, this guy has 2 kids with her, how stressful it must be to end up having to get a divorce, especially because his parents are still together. When your parents are together and then you're getting a divorce, I can't imagine that feels great internally. It's kind of like, damn, I thought my parents were able to keep this together. Why was not? And that's not to like knock him or anything, but that's how I would feel personally. Perhaps I'm just projecting that onto people. Who knows? Yeah, so he has to go through all this turmoil, and then he has to go through it in public now. So we don't know if he's in the mind frame to record, although Chance the Rapper is a rapper, an artist. I can't help but feel like the guy's always thinking about music or making music. Otherwise, what else is he really doing? I think the guy genuinely wanted to be great and was on such a run. It's just odd what had happened after The Big Day. And he dropped some singles after that were great, and I thought that were good drops. I just don't know why it took so long for another project to come, but hey, God's timing. Maybe this is the time for him to drop, and it'll all make sense soon. But I do want to see him come back. I love a comeback story, and I think right now Chance the Rapper is going to be seen as the underdog. He just came back from The Big Day, or not just came back, but this is his follow-up to The Big Day. He just got a divorce. We haven't heard from him in a long time, or most people haven't heard from him in a long time. I've been listening to the songs that he's been dropping. So it's like, okay, we're ready. Versus back then, people were like, hey, is this guy's fake independent, quote unquote? Oh, he got a song, or he got his album on Apple Music. How's he independent if he got paid to put it on Apple Music? Oh, now he's getting Grammys. And they thought he was this manufactured guy that they were putting in front of our face, which I'm not saying those thoughts are wrong. I've had those thoughts as well, especially with how well connected he is and his family is. But now it flips things. And being an underdog is a great position to be on if you can deliver, because the expectations aren't as high as someone that people believe has all the resources behind them and is being forced to succeed. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. Like and subscribe and hit the notification bell if you enjoyed. Are you anticipating a new Chance the Rapper album with this new news? Thank you for watching. Peace.
Okay, so end of that. Thoughts on that? I did not know that. I didn't even know he was married. I don't really keep tabs on him. I know that one of his recent albums, or I don't know if it's the last one, it didn't get a lot of good reviews. A lot of people didn't like it. I guess it wasn't like as good as the other stuff he used to put out, but I mean, like I said before in the Beyonce reaction video, people make different music. It's not gonna always be the same thing that the fans want them to make. You kind of want to grow as a person, just do something different, because you don't want to be typecasted as the artist that only has that type of music or that type of song or known as only that one thing. And the whole marriage thing, I I can honestly like marriage is not fucking easy. That shit is so stressful when it's with the wrong person. I don't blame him for getting a divorce. Good for him if he got one because hell, this shit's not fucking easy. There's so many people out there that just want to be married for the idea, but once it comes to the actual challenges, shit can go down. Shit can go downhill. Honeymoon phase ends, and it's the real deal. And then you're with the person for years who's a piece of shit. So I'm glad if he can make a comeback and he can move on and come straight out of this whole marriage thing. That's good. Like, good for him. Because a lot of people out here ain't shit. I'm sorry, they ain't. Especially the Indigenous generation trying to fucking keep a marriage stable and keep your own sanity when you're with someone else. That shit is hard. That shit looks hard. But yeah, it's just life, I guess. But yeah, I don't think it's good that she said some stuff about him, his wife, or whatever, about him and his not paying child support or whatever she said. That's stuff that you kind of should keep to yourself, not the public, especially if you're married to a celebrity. It's kind of a little bit like fucked up to be talking like that. But yeah, good for him, and I'll see y'all in the next video.